Is it working? Okay. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 82 kilometers later, and 15 laps. This is my first ultra. My left leg like wobbled, and I tried to save myself, and I slipped onto my bum with my leg into the fence. It felt as though I'd been hit by a car. It was like getting fried by an electric fence. Horrible. I wouldn't recommend. I've never done an ultra, so I didn't really know what to expect or how to prep. But on my very first lap, I got lost. And I remember going out for another lap, and I got maybe a kilometer into the lap, and I just burst into tears, crying. I was so broken, and I thought, no. I'm not gonna stop. On my last lap, I was singing that in my head, dog days are over, because I was like, I'm about to do this. I've got 2 more laps. Like, I'm gonna run from dawn till dusk for 12 hours straight. Like, to explain it to someone that hasn't gone that far it's not really possible. I did 3,619 meters of elevation, walking up the Burj Khalifa stairs 4 times.
What was the prep like for an ultra? You've never done this before. How did you prep for it?
I've never done an ultra, so I didn't really know what to expect or how to prep, if I'm being bluntly honest. I've never run distances that far either, so the prep was intimidating. A week prior to the ultra, so 2 weeks prior, on the Monday, in other words, is what I'm saying, I ran my first 50K, my first 50 kilometer, and that I called my prep. I've never run distances like this, so I didn't know what to expect. I follow a lot of people and athletes that do run distances this far. Yeah, the prep was intimidating. The prep was really intimidating. I mean, I've never done it. So it is the same as the swims, just diving in. Literally just diving in.
On the day, what was it like getting to the place, seeing the other competitors? Was it friendly? What was that experience like in the beginning?
So it's amazing. I've been in Herald, the venue where the ultra was organized and run is on a wine farm in Herald, and I've been going there since I was like 3 or 4. We originally lived in Herald, so it's a cool place, and it's amazing to always go back. It's beautiful. My grandfather lives there, so to arrive at the venue in the morning and see everyone setting up and feeling how cold it is and getting ready for the day, realizing, we're about to run for 12 hours straight. It was exciting, but super daunting. Knowing that the course had a lot of elevation. I mean, if it has a lot of elevation, you got to go back down. So it was super intimidating, knowing that the body was gonna break.
Was it easy in the beginning, or were you almost mentally prepared going into that the first few?
It was easier. It was easier for sure in the beginning. The body was fresh. The mind was still good. But on my very first lap, I got lost. I was in front, and we raced there. We ran a trail race at Herald at the wine farm in the beginning of the year, and I was under the assumption that the course was the same as the race. So we started, and I got lost and ended up running up and over a mountain unnecessarily. I didn't have to do that on my first lap. So I cooked myself straight from the start. I got to the end, and I said to Jared, Jared, are you for real? We ran this yesterday in broad daylight, and I got lost first lap. So the body and the mind was good up until I got lost. And then I felt a bit fried. And then I just realized, I'm going to be doing this for another, I think it was 11 hours and 20 minutes left. So I just thought, you know what, my body, I'm okay. This is fine. It's just character building.
What was your team like going into this thing?
It was awesome. Jared was my crew member, a very good friend of mine for this ultra, and he was helping me prepare my bottles and hand me food. And it's 2026, but he was rubbing my legs down and rubbing my feet, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. No, he helped a lot, and it was awesome, and it is motivating because my grandfather would pop in every now and again. My aunt would be there, or my uncle. So having my family there as well was quite cool. Um, and like you'd say, motivating. You know, wanting to do well or podium and win it, or wanting to win it for them, and never mind for myself. So it was motivating, and the crew and everyone there, it was awesome. Having some of my friends and family there.
At what point did you start to realize like this is where it gets tough now? And what did you have to do going into that?
Halfway through the race at midday, when the sun was sharp, I started rashing very, very badly under my arms, obviously from my arms rubbing against my back, in between my legs. Like you just start rashing. Like you start falling apart. It's not natural. Like you sweating and your salts. You know, you can feel yourself like declining. So I think midday is when it really, really got real. It seriously got real, from hour 6 onwards. I remember at midday, I'd done about 52 kilometers at hour 6. And I remember going out for another lap, and I got maybe a kilometer into the lap, and I just burst into tears, crying. I was so broken. I remember I walked the whole rest of that lap. And then I finished that lap. I remember I sat for a little while longer when we stopped. And I thought, no. Like, we've still got 6 hours here. I'm not gonna stop. So from halfway, it got so real.
What was it like running into electric fence?
Terrible. Those fences are around the vineyard for the baboons. So these things, like, they vip solid. And I was running downhill, and your knees are so cooked. So you're just trying to hold on. And I stepped into a little bit of a divot, like a bush of grass, if you want to call it that. And my left leg like wobbled, and I tried to save myself, and I slipped onto my bum, and then slipped with my leg into the fence, and then just got so cooked. I've never, it felt as though I'd been hit by a car. It was like horrible. I remember because obviously it stopped pulsing, and I got up and I thought, imagine someone caught that on camera. Like, that would have been great. And then I ran around the corner, and Jared was standing with the camera, and I was like, no, it would have been like epic if he was there to catch me getting fried by an electric fence. Horrible. I wouldn't recommend.
I keep sliding into the bloody fence.
This guy's in his
Bro, that thing shocked me in my...
We hope you guys are enjoying Kane's retell of the amazing ultra, but we just quickly wanted to tell you guys something super exciting. Next week, Friday, the 22nd of May, yes, Project Deep, and what you can see Kane wearing in the thing is going live. This is our limited edition project we've been working alongside Ingrid, Nurse, Kane, and Stoked to bring these amazing projects to life. Part of the proceeds will be going to Ingrid, Kane, and Earth Legacy Foundation, and we hope you guys are stoked. We've been working on this for super long, and we can't wait to share it with you guys. So go check it out on Stoked's Instagram, wearedaboys, for all the announcements. We got some really exciting giveaways and stuff going on there. So we'll see you there. Enjoy the rest of the video. Oh, leave a like and subscribe.
What was it like being in your head at that point?
The hallucinations were so real. Your mind bends so far because your body genuinely just disconnects. Like, mentally you're okay and you're all there, but your body just breaks and it can't anymore. So physically it's wild, and mentally it takes you to a place you need to push so far to get there. But to push through it and to be there in that space and just persevere, and regardless of what you're feeling, you're just constantly saying no to that feeling and to that voice that's saying, you know, please stop, and like you have nothing to prove, and all of these different little voices telling you, I mean, what are you doing this for, and X, Y, Z. But to consciously decide and just keep going and saying no was the hardest mental block. Just forcing yourself to say, no, I'm running till the end. So.
What does that disconnect feel like?
it's wild to feel yourself that broken. You feel like somewhat paraplegic. You're like, please, please bring me a wheelchair. You can't walk anymore. So that disconnect is crazy. When you're okay and you know, I live in Mossel Bay. I know my friends and my cell phone number, but your body is just non-responsive. You've pushed it so far. It's beautiful. You eventually get to a point where you realize it's breakable. It's a beautiful feeling, but a scary one too. Like you genuinely break yourself so far that you cooked.
And what was it like coming to the end of the race, pushing so hard, everything unfolded? You've done it.
It was awesome. On the second last lap, I remember running that lap, and I was thinking of this song by Florence and the Machine.
Run fast for your mother.
I was-
fast for your mother.
What is that song called?
Dog days are over.
I was thinking of I was on my last lap. I was singing that in my head. Dog days are over, because I was like, on my second last lap. Sorry, I was thinking of dog days are over. Running that lap, like I'm about to do this. I've got 2 more laps. Like I'm gonna run from dawn till dusk for 12 hours straight. Run the furthest I'd ever run in my life, and highest I've ever run in my life. And then finishing it, I remember going past the table, marking off my 15th lap, and I remember just bending down on my knees and standing there for a minute or so, like in awe. A full ego death, like complete ego death is what it felt like. You genuinely feel so small and so big at the same time, and so stoked but so sad because you're so sore. So beautiful feelings.
You say in the race it was a complete ego death. There's not many people in this world that will probably ever experience that. What was that like?
It is genuine ego death. There's no other way to put it. You feel so small and insignificant. I didn't even say that right. Insignificant. Wait, let's do that properly. It is a genuine ego death. You feel so small and insignificant. You're so broken and tired, and there's these huge mountains all around you, and it's silent. It's just little birds and the same damn dirt road. Like to explain it to someone that hasn't gone that far it's not really possible. You need to go there and be there to feel it and to know what it feels like. It's wild. Similar with the swims, but in its own beautiful way. Yeah, it's straight ego death.
You forget about winning, you forget about competing. You genuinely just there by yourself. In silence, it's just little birds in the road and the mountains around you, and you go to a point where your ego just dies. You're not there to prove anything anymore. You're just there to push.
How much elevation did you end up doing?
I did, because I got lost. So I ended up doing a bit more. I did 3,619 meters of elevation. So for perspective, that's climbing up Table Mountain 3 times. Up and down Table Mountain 3 times. Or walking up the Burj Khalifa stairs 4 times. No elevator, up the stairs. It's wild for me. But what cooked me is, if you go all the way up, you got to go all the way down. So 3,600 meters of, what is the word? De-elevation. My knees feel like I'm 90 years old.
At the end, you came second. What was it like pushing yourself so hard, but just being so close and not getting first?
It's another level of respect. The guy who won, Craig Hammer, full-on veteran. You could see from the start, like he can he can really take pain. He was indestructible. He just kept going and going and going. And at the end, he ended up beating me by a lap. So he did 16 laps. But we had an awesome moment. As soon as I crossed the line on my last lap, he came to me and he said, like, brother, you made me work for it. And that, for me, is a win. You know, that he, not to be cheeky, but that he couldn't just walk away with it, you know. There was some 19-year-old Grom that said no. So it was a cool moment. He said, like, I thought 80Ks would be enough, you know, doing this race and seeing the competitors. He's like, 80Ks, I'll be sorted. And then I just kept going and going and going. He was like, 80Ks won't be enough. So he ended up doing 16 and he pipped me. So pushing as hard as I did, I'm still happy to walk away with second. I'm fulfilled, I think is the right word. I learned more and I did what I set out to do. I said I was going to run the full 12 hours and I did that. So that's a win for me. It's a win.
And going forward now, are you going to approach future things?
Exactly the same way I've approached the few projects I've done this year. I joked at the end of the race, I said it's only May. 2026 is still a while away. So I think going into the next projects and next ideas, I'm going to go into all of them exactly the way I've gone into all of these, just head first, diving in. That's how I see it fit, and that's how I do it, just jumping in. Bro, that is a huge hornet. Yeah, that thing will cook you harder than that electric fence, I promise you. It's a fly, it's not a hornet.